Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to to the Paranormal Club. And tonight, if you guys can't tell from my accent and my redneckish hat, we are going to the races with the Final Destination, the 2009 movie.
Absolutely. It was originally called the Final Destination. Technically, it's part of the franchise, but we are still in McKinley, Pennsylvania, which is the location of Final Destination 3 for our film. Initial accident or situation, travesty, disaster takes place on the McKinley Speedway, which is a racetrack, and there are a whole ton of folks that perish on the speedway, and it leads and several other survivors to basically battle for their lives against a unseen force called death.
Right. It was directed by David R. Ellis, who was on the second Final Destination movie. I believe he was a writer. It's produced by Craig Perry and Warren Zide, who are our OGs of most of the movies. We have screenplay by Eric Bress, a new guy. We have music by Brian Taylor, because Shirley Walker sadly died. I don't remember when she died, but she died before this movie. Cinematography is done by Glenn McPherson, and locations, most of the scenes were filmed in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Mobile International Speedway, Irvington, Alabama, which is McKinley Speedway. We also have reshots done in Universal Studios, Florida. We have Bobby Campo as Nico Bannon, Chantel Von Santin as Lori Milligan, Haley Webbs as Jeanette Cunningham, Nick Zano as Hunter Winerski, our biggest asshole of this movie. We have Mykelti Williamson as George Lanter, the very helpful security guard. We have Krista Allen as Sam Lane, which is funny because I actually know a Sam Lane. She was a real bitch. And this one is kind of a bitch. Sadly, we do not get the name of Mr. Lane. We have Andrew Fiscal as Andy Cowser, the mechanic. Justin Webern as Carter Daniels, the redneck. We have Stephanie Hornares as Nadia Monroe, aka the mechanic's girlfriend. Laura Griss as Cynthia Daniels. I believe she is the wife of the redneck. We have Jackson Walker as Jonathan Groves, the cowboy, as they call him. We have Brendan Aguilar as Ryan Lane and William Aguilar as Daniel Lane. So we actually have a cast of brothers.
Yeah, nothing better than a bunch of brothers. Now, I tell you, I'm originally from Texas. You know that, right?
I know.
Mid-Texas. Yeah, all right, well.
On to the goal score.
All right, we have on Origination 56 folks killed by the Speedway disaster. We have 2 people crushed to smithereens. We have 2 people hit by vehicles. We have 1 decapitation. Hold on, give me a second. I got to use my fingers to count here. Yeah, we got 1 decapitation, 1 person killed by projectile, 1 person killed by underwater rectal prolapse. You look that up and you'll know exactly what that is. Shoot, there's 2 more here. Don't start with me. Don't start with me, Brandon. I mean, Slasher dude. Oh, I said, oh my gosh. That scares it. My brain is off. We've got 9 total kills, though. I know that for sure. Well, 9 of the survivors, with all of them, were killed for a total of
He's missing. One woman gets stoned in the eye, and another gets
grated by the fence. Yes, like a cheese grater. It gets pushed. Thank you. He gets pushed up against the fence and gets grated like he's a slice of cheddar.
Oh, God. Yep, and on to our favorite deaths. Mine, surprisingly, and not so surprisingly since I hate racists. Carter goes for a ride. I mean, the visuals that we see at the beginning showing how he dies, I mean, it was hard to tell with the golden cross, but then we watch it and we get the best music playing as he's dying. Why Can't We Be Friends by War, and just, wow. And he's screaming for help, and then you just watch his head blow off after the car blows up and land right there with a surprised look on his face. And it lands right in front of George.
Absolutely. This is the first time in the franchise where a death has a moral to it. I mean, had he not been such a racist scumbag, he probably would have lived for at least a few more hours. So he brought his death upon him, essentially.
Right. What about you?
So I said underwater rental collapse. That means essentially Hunt had his guts sucked out through his butthole. It's one of the most, I think, and when I think about it, how painful that must be.
Right.
Okay, that's not my favorite. I would say that's like the most the funniest, or worst kill. It's just, oh gosh. But in terms of being cinematic, I would go with you with Carter. That was absolutely built up well. It was enjoyable, and it was actually fun. So,
right. Lee's favorite death. George gets hit by a speeding ambulance. I mean, yes, we've seen Terry get hit by an ambulance. By a bus. We've seen, we almost see Brian get hit by a bus. We see, by a news van. We see, Wendy get hit by a van. But this, it came way too quick, and we don't even get to see the outcome. We just see, what was his name? We just see Nick look over at George's body, and it just aggravates me. We don't get to see the whole gore. Especially since the makeup artist probably did a really hard job getting him to look that way, or getting the dummy to look just right, but we don't get to see their work. And again, what actually pisses me off is we see it twice, and it's like, oh, you didn't like that? Here, have it again.
Yeah, they did it twice, and the real tragedy, how predictable it is. We see them walking together. They are side by side, and then George just falls for no apparent reason. So you know the distance is for something, and it's for just a toss-away death. George was actually a relatable and interesting character. I actually liked him more than even Nick. I didn't find Nick very relatable at all. But what do? They just give him a generic death. And being hit by a truck is the most generic death you can have in Final Destination.
Right. Most gory. Actually, surprisingly, I have two for this. We have Sam gets sees stones. My God, bad joke, but onto it. Basically, it's led up to with so many. I mean, yes, we get the clue during Nick's. My God, I'm getting these two protagonists mixed up, but we see it happening, and then we watch her kids throw stones, try and hit a sign, and we actually don't think that's gonna have any problem until we see a close-up of the stone, and then we go into the salon, we watch this whole chain reaction go off, and I guess that was supposed to help timing go so she could get out right when the lawnmower hits the stone. I mean, come on. But it was still very gory, just looking at the stone go into her eye and just, wow. And second goriest, Andy gets diced. I mean, I even watched the alternate version of this and it was pretty gross. I mean, the alternate, he gets his chest comes out because of the tank and because he's thrown against the fence. This was pretty much better. We watch his back literally gets sliced by the chain link fence and it slips out in these diamond shapes and just wow. I wonder how many actually got sick while seeing this in the theater for the 3D.
Yeah, I don't know. One of my complaints with this film is a lot of the CGI is dated. You know, this is 2009, and it's not the height of CGI. And so I felt a lot of the special effects just don't hold up for me. That's one of my personal complaints with the film.
Okay. On to the facts. This is the franchise's 3D movie, which surprisingly they were gonna do it for Final Destination 3, but they did not have the budget for it. And then 3 was a huge hit in theaters, so they went with that. We lose James Wan to Dragon Ball Evolution, sadly. He takes over for that production, and still we do get a great writer in David R. Ellis. Let me make sure.
Really quickly, on that note, James Wong suffered the worst death out of all the survivors of the Final Destination franchise. He made a, frankly, piss-poor anime adaptation. That's the worst way to go.
Right. I can't agree with that. Even Death Note, the Real D animation was really way better than Dragon Ball Evolution, from what I've heard. Sorry guys, I haven't seen it yet. Surprisingly, it beat Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 in the theaters.
Which film did?
The fourth Final Destination beat Halloween 2.
Oh, yeah. The budget for this film was around $40 million, but they managed to receive in return, I think, what was it, around 180 million, 181?
That's pretty good. Especially since, I mean, everyone was looking forward to this Halloween, and it was just... I'm sorry, Rob Zombie, I like the rest of your movies, but this was just not as good as the originals. I mean, stick with your gory movies. A lot more creative with the racetrack. I mean, yes, we have those pretty good kills on the roller coaster. We have the highway incident related kills on the highway pileup. We have the airplane, but this actually got pretty good. It got way better in the premonition. I mean, we watch what causes it, and then we watch the cars literally crash, break the fence, and destroy most of the stadium. Clues were a lot more in your face. We see all these premonitions before the deaths, and then we get the Dixieland. We get, hey, asshole, down in front! No, wait, down in front, asshole! And then, sir, please put your foot down. And then the cowboy.
Yeah. Like a good old cowboy.
Right, we even see it in the movie theater, and actually, funny thing, if you notice, the race car that attacks, Lori, the mini race car, actually is the same number and the same design of the race car that caused the crash in the racetrack. And that will have a lot more significance in the 5th movie, but let's keep getting to the facts. So many alternate scenes, especially the deleted scenes. I mean, there were so many ways other people died on the racetrack, like the mechanic was supposed to get burnt almost alive, and I think the other person who was supposed to burn with him was the husband of Sam. We get a whole new death at the end where a box falls on the 2 survivors. Nick saves everyone in the theater by jumping out of a window using a flammable tank.
We are deprived.
Go on.
I'm just saying I'm glad we didn't get that, they didn't go with the alternate scene, because a falling box, that's not that much fun at all.
Well, it is when you see the chain fall from it right in front of the 2 characters, but then again, we also got an alternative to Hunt's death, where we actually see, I mean, it was a lot less gory. We see blood coming out of the, I think he drowns, and then the drainage system reverses, blows into his asshole, and then we watch, blood come out of the filter system, and it was just, thank God they went for a different death for Hunt. A way more gory.
Yeah.
And actually, if you notice, there was a lot more nudity in here than usual.
Yeah.
I mean, we got that boob scene in the 2nd movie, and we got Ashley and Ashlyn in the 3rd movie, but here, we get that one chick that Hunt's screwing in the, I think you call it a tent or an umbrella for next to the pool.
Yeah. Oh, I think they call that area, it's like the changing rooms, like the cabana.
Right. Favorite song of this movie? Well, 2. Actually, you know what? 1 favorite song. Devour by Shinedown. It just really works with the racetrack. Watching all the cars go by to this song. It gets you really hyped to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
The theme song sounds way more darker at the end. We have a new double kill attempt. I mean, we watch both Hunt and, Janet almost die together. So Death can't be screwed over this time, but he kind of failed. Yet won at the same time. I mean, Hunt dies, but Janet lives.
Well, you got a triple kill at the end of the movie, you know, with Janet, Lori, and Nick.
Right, but I'm actually going to get to that, which actually makes it look a lot better. I mean, I even noticed this at the end after watching it yesterday, but we have a hidden victim that we don't see until the end, aka the cowboy, who we actually didn't know it was him who died at first, getting crushed to that big pillar. We have the main character isn't the only one that can tell the signs from the premonitions like the first movie. I mean, we have his girlfriend see the premonition, see all the signs in the movie theater, like Clear did technically during the end when she saved Alex. The beginning credits, I mean, we get a montage of the previous movies, basically. I mean, we watch each death play through the credits.
Yeah, very effective, very entertaining. Yeah.
We get a sign that says Clear Rivers, so basically she's also in this movie. We have Bus 180 outside the cafe. We have a great way to end the movie, which is basically the X-ray deaths that we see. Alex getting decapitated. Actually, I don't know which one was which, but one gets decapitated by the fan in the truck. One gets crushed against the wall, and the other gets run over.
From my notes, Lori is the one that's decapitated, Janet is that's run over, and Nick who is flung against the wall.
Well, thank God we have your notes for that. But yeah, I mean, we even get that great ending of the ending with the tooth just blacking us out.
Yeah.
Just wow, I mean...
No, there's some good spectacle.
Yep, and I'm kind of sad we don't get the much blood in the ending, but we do get to see from another angle how they die.
That is very true.
And we have a musical cue for this one, like most movies. The first one was Rocky Mountain High. Second one was Highway to Hell. Third one was There Is Someone Behind You. And this one, strangely enough, is Dixieland.
You know, I would have thought Rocky Mountain High would have fit more with the previous film because, you know, they're going up. You know, there's an inclination on the, I don't know. That's just me.
No, I guess, yeah, that could have worked, but again, it was all based on, how John Denver died. He died in a plane crash, so they wanted to do something with that. But other than that, it was a really good movie. We got the kills we've been waiting for. They're not gonna get they're gonna get a little less inventive in the next one, kind of, but yeah, I do agree that the CGI was a bit crappy for the time, and still, this was a really good movie.
Okay, how do you feel about this ranking? We got number one, the first film, Final Destination 3, Final Destination 4, and then Final Destination 2.
Wait, we have one first?
How you feel? Yeah, I thought we had agreed that the first film was still the best.
Didn't I send
number
you...
Number 3 is a closed... What?
I mean, yeah, one has the great story, the pretty realistic deaths, but I think I gotta say the fourth one is kind of better than the first one.
Whoa, that is controversial. Unless we're talking Friday the 13th, where I said Part 4 and Part 6 were better than the others. But anyways, okay, well, all right. Yeah. I disagree, but that is fine.
Okay, what do you think?
I said I would put the first and the third in the top two spots, then number 4, and then lastly number 2. So the problem with the CGI in this, but then also, besides George, I just really didn't connect with any of the characters. You know, you got the racist guy, obviously, okay, good riddance to him. So, okay, you know, he's gone. I don't care about him. Sam, who is one bodacious
Hot
body, in my
MILF.
opinion, that hurt a little bit seeing her get killed off. But
As Hunt says, we lost one more great MILF.
absolutely, words after my own heart. Yes.
You know what, actually, I'm going to change my mind. I think I kind of got to agree with you. We can all agree that this is better than the second movie. Not as good as the third movie because of all the CGI. So yeah, I think we should put it between 3 and 2.
All right. The council has come to an agreement.
And behind the scenes, guys, we'll decide the ranks. I know we still haven't posted the Scream ranks, but we will get to that soon. So yeah, you'll find out the number for this one soon on that list. We'll be doing 5 next week. We're still waiting for ideas and opinions to come in for the next paranormal movie. We're doing Halloween 2, also known as the Scalpel Murders, if you know what I mean, and hopefully maybe we have a surprise for you.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we're doing Halloween 2 on Monday, which is, you got to tune in for that. We're going to have a lot of great trivia. There's a great slasher stats for that. All sorts of excellent things that you can only get with us here at the Slasher Club. Please definitely tune in. But really quickly, I got to say this. I talked to Slasher Dude before we started filming. What the heck is the deal with truckers and these giant trucks blocking up the road? And it's always during rush hour. It is always during the time when people have to clog up the freeway. They're trying to get to work. They're trying to, because if you're even a minute late on the job, your manager will be breathing down your neck, and you will potentially lose any sort of PTO that you're trying to accrue. What do these, jackasses do? You got these giant semi-trucks. You got the construction vehicle. These things that take up the space for like 3 or 4 cars. It's like, could you not wait? Or how about, here's another thing. Why don't they just make a lane? Create a lane on the freeway only for big ass vehicles. We'll call it the BAV lane. You got the HOV lane, here's BAV lane.
I did not agree to this, guys.
Vehicles can clog up that lane.
Know this?
Those big vehicles can clog. All right, that's fine. I'm done. That's it.
I did not agree to any of that, guys. So when you hear this, do not think of me. Think of him. I had nothing to do with this. So we're gonna end the show with a few words. Remember, guys, we can... Don't be an asshole. Don't always rely on your lucky coin unless it's really lucky. And don't be an asshole to kids or MILFs. And don't put tampons in your kids' ears.
Yeah, and my final words are, when you're thinking of someone sitting in traffic, think of me, Cameron Scott. Ever.
Good night, guys.